Welcome Ramley, how are my Rams super fans doing today? Today we're talking the Rams at the Seattle Seahawks on Thursday Night Football. Let's get into it. Now let's start by talking about the injury report. Now the Rams really don't have much injuries. We're relatively healthy. Of course, Justin Hollins is still out and he's not expected back for a few weeks. But other than that, the injury report is pretty clean on the Rams side. Now on the other side, the Seahawks have a few players that are questionable. Defensive end Carlos Dunlap is questionable with a toe injury. Offensive tackle Brandon Snell is questionable with an ankle injury. And linebacker Darrell Taylor is also questionable with an ankle injury. Now this is early on in the week, so I have no idea how this is going to shake out. But this is a short week, so these injuries could really play a factor. Now what am I looking forward to seeing? I'm looking forward to seeing how the Rams will respond after being embarrassed by the Arizona Cardinals. Now, every team is going to have a poor performance once in a while, but a good team makes adjustments and doesn't let a bad performance turn into a bad stretch of games. I'm really anxious to see is the Rams a great team that's going to make those adjustments. Honestly, that's the only thing I'm looking forward to. Please, guys, let me know in the comments, is there something specific you're looking forward to seeing this Thursday? And before we get into matchups, if you guys could just like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, also follow me on Twitter and Instagram, I really appreciate that. Now let's talk the passing offense versus the passing defense. Seattle's giving up a lot of yards in the air, averaging 292.5 yards per game. That's good for 5th worst in the league. And the Rams passing offense is good for 5th best in the league, averaging 298.2 yards per game. And honestly, when you get the best and the worst, you gotta expect that trend to continue. I expect the Rams to really air it out, and I look for Matthew Stafford to have a bounce back game this week. And on the flip side, Seattle has a middle of the road passing attack, averaging only 243.3 yards per game. And outside of Tom Brady, the Rams haven't given up a 300-yard passing game to anyone this season. And Brady had to throw the ball 55 times to put up the numbers he did. So honestly, I don't expect Russell Wilson to pass all over this defense. But I tell you what, I will be eating my words if the Rams secondary plays like they did last week against the Cardinals. Although Kyler Murray didn't go over 300 yards, he still looked amazing and kind of did whatever he had to do. The only reason why he didn't go over 300 yards is because that running game played pretty well too. So I hate to sit up here and praise the Rams defense as if they're some juggernaut, because they really have yet to show us that they are. So in order for them to keep Russell Wilson in check, I really need them to play better than they did last week. But honestly guys, I expect them to do just that. Now let's talk the rushing offense versus the rushing defense. On average, Seattle's giving up the second most rushing yards on the ground this season, averaging 152 yards ran against them per game. So Henderson should pick up right where he left off last week. I'm expecting a big game from him. Now on the flip side, the Rams rushing defense is a little bit better, but not by far. They're still giving up 123 yards on the ground per game. So I wouldn't be shocked if Chris Carson had a good outing this Thursday. I really do like Chris Carson. I do think he's one of the more underrated running backs in this league. Now let's talk individual matchups. Honestly guys, the only matchup I'm really looking forward to seeing is the Rams linebackers versus Russell Wilson. I'm really interested to seeing what adjustments we make on defending a mobile quarterback. Because last week, Kyler Murray completely embarrassed us by the way he moved around in that pocket and how he picked up yards with his feet whenever he needed to. Now playing Kyler Murray and then just 4 days later playing Russell Wilson, that should have given our defensive coordinator an idea on how to properly contain a mobile quarterback. So I'm going to really pay close attention to the play calling and what adjustments are going to be made from last week to this week. Guys, let me know what individual matchups you're looking forward to seeing. Let me know right in the comments. We could talk about it there. And really quick guys, before we get into my prediction, if you could like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter, I'd really appreciate that. Now let's get into my prediction. Now Seattle is giving up the most yardage on defense in all of the NFL with 444.5 yards per game. And now a Rams team that should be angry and eager to prove to everyone that that week 4 loss was just a fluke comes to Seattle. But Russell Wilson is still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, probably top 3 in my opinion. And Seattle is still one of the hardest places to play in. And having to travel to Seattle in a short week makes this a tough one. I honestly want to sit down with a schedule maker and say, what the hell are you thinking? Like, you give us Seattle on a short week? We could have played Seattle in LA on a short week. But you want us to travel to Seattle on a short week? It's like, come on, dog, you setting us up for failure. But like I said, good teams make adjustments. And I think the Rams are very eager and they're very angry to prove that last week was just a fluke. Now, after bad losses, great teams show you what they're made of. And I do think this Rams team is a great team. I do think this game can go either way, but I'm going to give the slight edge to the Rams, 28-27. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your prediction in the comment section, and if you're interested in more Rams content, click this video right here.